Hey guys, so first day in Athens, just arrived in the Airbnb now. I've just had a quick shower and I am exhausted. Been up since literally 11:30 last night to get here because it was an early morning flight and then we were delayed for ages. However, we are now here. So first stop tonight is a little husband and wife run joint. It's about a 15-minute metro ride from here. There's no menu. You get taken into the kitchen and the chef there will speak to you and tell you what he's made that day, and that's the menu. So first night in Athens, returning to Greece for the first time in 11 years, and I am absolutely excited to sit down and have a home-cooked family-style Greek dinner. So let's go. So, for you, that was a couple of seconds. For me, that was like a 20-minute metro ride in rush hour, and I can tell you, it's just as bad as London. So, the place we are actually going to is called Tukutuki. Hang on, let me try that again. The place that we're going to is Tukutuki Tautoma. So this is basically, like I said before, a family-run restaurant. Get taken into the kitchen, get shown the menu. I'm going to ask if they can do some filming while I'm in the kitchen so that I can kind of film the dishes and speak to him. From what I've seen on other videos, he does speak really good English. However, I'm going to test my Greek because some of you do know and some of you don't. I've spent a few years living and cooking in Greece in my much younger years. So I am going to see how much I can remember of the cuisine. I can't really do much in regards to the weather and stuff like that. But when it comes to food, I can certainly hold my own. But it's been like 15 years since I was in a kitchen in Greece, so I may be a bit rusty. So this is the entrance. Very small little entrance. You would probably miss it going past. And it is literally just through that door. And we are going to go in there and have an early dinner.
They cook it from the morning till the day.
Yeah. So for me,
whatever you eat, you will be satisfied.
For me, I worked in Corfu 15 years ago for 4 years. So I know like Poliligo Hellenica.
Very
so
good.
Monopoliligo.
Never mind.
Hola.
Ωραία.
Yeah.
Όλα ωραία. Έλα να δεις. Come on, see.
Ναι. Γεμιστά.
Ναι. Αυτό είναι γεμιστά. Αυτό είναι πατάτες στο φούρνο. In the oven.
Ναι.
Yeah. Έλα να δεις όλα. This is sucukaki.
Ναι. Yeah.
Yeah, sucukaki. This can go with rice, with pasta, with fried potato. It's gone.
Yeah.
Okay, then I will show you one by one. It's the time now. Because I can't. I can't.
Too many things.
This is a soup.
Yeah.
Yes, beans soup.
Lovely.
Soup. This is also soup. White kids.
Yeah.
Soup. No. This is pasta. It is gone. Yeah. This is orphans.
Yeah.
With rice only, without meat. Very good. This is salad, horta. Yes,
yeah.
with oil, lemon.
Poliora.
You know popo.
I
The
know.
one in Chinese people they say oh la la.
Yeah.
Yes,
Nah.
popo. There is tash kebab, small spoon meat.
Yeah.
Sauce, salsa, everything you can see. This is also, I think so, kotoplo enough to. Yes. Nah. Oh, this is tutu rice.
Rice.
Rice can go with many things.
Yeah.
Yes. This is the last. This is with brushino. With carrots, yeah,
Nice.
whatever you eat. That's up to you. Yeah, that's your problem after, not my problem. This is kunelli.
Nice fish.
It's with onion.
Yeah.
Oliora stufado, they say. This is nice.
Yeah.
Smell.
Lovely.
That's the choice is yours. You will tell me. You're confused now.
Crazy, yeah.
You're confused.
So many things here.
Yes.
Mia patates forno,
Mia patates no furno.
mia salata,
Mia salata.
mia de gedopelo.
Ναι. Ξανά. Yes. Όχι, αυτό δεν είναι κοτόπουλο, αρνί.
Αρνί.
Ναι,
Α,
ναι.
ωραία. Αρνί.
Ναι.
Ναι, ένα και rice. Ένα.
Αυτό με αυτό.
Sì,
Αυτό
ναι.
με αυτό και...
Και πιτάτες
Και με πετάτες.
και σαλάτα.
Και σαλάτα.
Ναι.
Είσαι καλούμενος. Οκ.
Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ.
Να είστε καλά.
So you can see they have a little outside area. I'm the only one in here at the moment because it's a very early dinner. So I've ordered a lamb and gravy with some rice, a little like biftekis, like a little beef burger with some oven roasted potatoes, and then they have like it's a salad, so it's like a green stem, kind of like a parsley almost. And they cook it and just serve it with some oil and some lemon and some salt, and it is really good. So yeah, I'll give you a quick tour. These guys are super friendly. English is really good, as you can hear. My Greek is nowhere near on the level of her English, which is good because she's able to understand me, which is great. So we'll see when the food gets it. It's quite nice that it's quiet, so I have like the ability to kind of talk and not interrupt anyone's dinner. But yeah, it is very much like going into the house of a family member, like she had like a grandmother, and yeah, it's just going to be delicious. The smells, like you can't pick up the smell of the food in there. The smells are just like a family home at Christmas. Delicious. So we have bifteki and patates, we have the greens, and we have some feta, and we also have the arni and the rice left to come out. A huge chunk of bread, and a nice little carafe of red wine. I think I might have over ordered, but we will give it a good go.
Hello.
Hi there, how are you?
Okay. How's yourself?
I can't complain.
Where do you come from?
I come from Wales, but I live
One
in
more,
England at
one
the
more.
moment.
Oh. In England, where about?
London.
London. Which
Yeah.
part of London?
So I work in Canary Wharf. I live in Canary Wharf as well.
In where?
Canary Wharf, so it's like the east end of London,
Yeah.
near Greenwich.
I lived in London for almost 10 years myself,
really?
years ago, of course,
Yeah.
in the 70s. I lived in Finsbury Park,
Yeah.
in South Woodford,
Yeah.
New Cross Gate,
Oh wow.
and where else? Oh, and Walthamstow.
Okay, yeah.
Walthamstow.
I was in Walthamstow on Saturday.
Really?
There was there's a
Yeah.
brewery there. They were doing a taco
Yeah.
festival,
Yeah.
and I also lived. You were in New Cross Gate. I was in Honor Oak for a while, just a bit further down.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice to live there. I work as a chef.
Yeah.
So like I've come here. I lived in Greece in Corfu for 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
Like 16, 17 years ago.
Yeah.
And I worked in a hotel cooking. And I loved it, but I never came to Athens. So I'm here in Athens now, like filming, eating, literally as many gyros, souvlaki,
That's right,
ragazza,
yeah.
and obviously I've seen a few people come here, and I was like, oh, first meal back in Greece, something
Good,
like
good.
something that the family would cook, you know, something.
Yeah.
And I've ordered for a family as well.
It's too much for you. But
No, I'll be fine. I literally.
Yeah, you've got plenty of time.
Oh yeah, I'm in no rush.
Yeah,
I got up I started traveling at midnight last night.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll go to bed for 10 o'clock. So
Yeah.
I'm having this. I'm going to walk for 30 minutes home and then sleep till
That's
lunchtime
right.
tomorrow, and then go back out and eat again.
Okay. Good appetite.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Κάνω μια δοκιμή, δεν ξέρω, εντάξει. Είναι...
What time for you? Yes, I
lovely.
mix for you. What butter?
Θα φέρω το τέτοιο.
Σιγά πάει να διαλύουν.
Α, εντάξει. Αυτή είναι έτοιμη
Ιστορία.
να καταρρεύσει.
Thank you.
Yes.
Lovely.
You can drink water. Yes.
Προσέχετε το δέσμα.
Okay. Έχει γλάσσινες αρκετά. Γλάσσινες αρκετά έχει.
Εντάξει, έχει κάνει ο Μιχάλης.
Μόνο
Μόνο πάρεις.
τι έχει, τι. Πόσα θα πάρω.
Είναι 30. Θα πάρεις 1,5.
So I have literally just finished up with them. Great conversation with the guy. He lived in London for about 10 years, all over. So we had bifteki with potatoes, we had the arni with rice, we had the greens, which are like a bitter salad, bitter green leaf salad. We had feta, we had a carafe of red wine, we had bread, we had water, and it was 20 euros. So like if you're ever in Athens, find them. I will leave the Google Maps location to it on the video. But yeah, phenomenally good. Go and check them out. Morning, guys. So, day 2, technically first full day in Athens. Yesterday, got in sort of mid-afternoon, super long day. I was up for probably 12 hours before I'd even got to Athens. Lasted as long as I could during the day, took a nice long walk. There'll probably be a little bit of the footage of what I saw yesterday, but had a great meal. A really sort of homely taverna. It was very much like it was their living room with a few tables. There'll be a video probably just dedicated to the meal there, and a few bits sort of on the way and on the way back from. Just absolutely, like if you're craving real Greek food, then that is definitely the place to go. It is homely, it is really tasty, the portions are massive, as you will see in the video. So day 2 today, I'm going to try and get some shots at the Acropolis of the city and a few other things to kind of get some filming for some filler, some B-roll. And then after that, it is into the main area, so Monastiraki Square, that kind of area, and we will be eating what we can. I think today is going to probably be a little bit of the traditional stuff, so maybe see if we can get some bougatsa. It might be a bit later in the day that I'm eating, so it may be a bit late for some bougatsa because it's traditionally for breakfast, which is just like layers and layers of phyllo with butter, and then it's filled with like a thick custard, basically, topped with more phyllo, loads of powdered sugar. Also like loukoumades, maybe a couple of pita-gyros. Then be out for dinner tonight. There is a taverna that I want to go to that it specializes in lamb by the kilo, so it may be that we hit one of them up as well. And then yeah, kind of today is just skirting the main sort of touristy areas, a couple of places that I want to hit up for you guys and for me and my stomach. And yeah, so we'll get into it. We'll see what we find out today. So we are about halfway up to the entrance to the Acropolis. It is one hell of a workout. Obviously you see the pictures a bit high up above the city, but it really is a slog. So anyone that has difficulty sort of getting about, I'd certainly recommend taking the metro. The metro stops quite near to it, but you will miss views of little churches and amazing buildings like this one if you skip the walk. I think I'm going the wrong way. However, I did see a video say that on the opposite side of the Acropolis there's like an entrance at the back, so I can see a lift on a wall behind me, so I'm kind of hoping that it's a shortcut, but the reality is it could probably take me twice as long to get there, so we'll see what happens. So we are currently in the neighbourhood of Anafiatiki. I'll double check the pronunciation. But you have little narrow steps like this all around the buildings, which is your access point to go through. I'm trying to be really quiet so as not to disturb the people living here. It's Anafiottika is the name of the place, and it is very narrow and hilly, and apparently so this is a region of the city that is very similar to the islands, how they're made up and how they operate. So yeah, sorry, I stopped filming because there was a lot of people making a lot of noise up there, and I wanted to be respectful of the locals. But Anaphiotica looks like different parts of different islands like Corfu, Thessaloniki. You've got the white buildings, the blue roofs. Now, the reason it looks like that is because when islanders came over to Athens to work and to set up roots, they actually built the area in the only way they knew how, which is similar to how they build on the islands, which is why you'll find them all close together, real narrow streets and narrow staircases to get through the buildings. But yeah, it's a hell of a climb. You can probably hear that I am out of breath and sweating. I'm lucky that it is overcast today with a few spots of rain in the air to help keep me cool, but there is more liquid running down my forehead than there is in the air, so hopefully it will rain a little bit more.
Five minutes.
Limera. So first food stop of the day is Kostas for a gyros. In fact, I think it's a souvlaki pita that they do. So it's just in the square, just off the main walking strip. So a lovely little square. So we're gonna go in and get one and see how it goes. So first stop today, we have here a kalamaki pita. So that is a pork souvlaki pita, and straight off, Costas is like famous around all YouTube bloggers. Everybody that comes here goes to Costas. So obviously I'm here to see what the hype is. They use heavy, like stainless steel cast iron weights. They look like gold, but they're not. Just to press down on that grill to get all that caramelization on the pork, and obviously you can see the pork is nicely cooked. It comes with French fries, usually fresh tomato. I'm not a fan of the fresh tomato, so I took it out. Onions with parsley, and then they use a tomato sauce rather than a tzatziki in it. So I've been really excited about this bite. So here we go. That bread is like super soft, super doughy, absolutely delicious. They're very salty, but not too much. Like, you can certainly tell there's a lot of salt in there. A little spice in that tomato sauce, crunch and freshness from the onions, potato chips, if you will, are delicious. Excuse me, I just dropped my napkin. But that is a phenomenal bite of food. If I ate nothing else in Athens except that taverna yesterday and these, I would be a very, very, very happy man. And only €3. With a Coke it was $4.20. So to put that into context, this whole pita was €1.50 cheaper than the water bottle that I had at the Acropolis. Out, because when you walk in, you're not allowed to bring liquids in, you have to throw them away, and then there's nowhere that I saw up there to buy drinks. So as soon as I got down, I was really thirsty, so I stopped and got a bottle of water. A single bottle of water was €4.50. So perhaps that should be my scale. Percentage cheaper per souvlaki gyros than the water in Athens, in the Acropolis. I think that could be the most expensive bottle of water I've ever had. So I'm going to finish this, take another little walk, maybe get a frappe, and then just around the corner there is Lucamades, and I think we might be stopping there next. So next up is going to be here, Loukoumades. They do authentic Greek style donuts. Now they do a variation. So obviously the donuts here and the Loukoumades in general, traditionally it is a cinnamon and honey based flavour. But the Loukoumades shop actually does loads and loads of different flavours. So like a pistachio butter, Nutella. So we're going to go get something a bit untraditional with this one. But we have another place we're going to go to that is traditional that we will visit on the next day or two. So this one's going to be the quirky one and slightly unoriginal, but certainly, or not unoriginal, very original. And yeah, let's see what we can get. So, for anyone that knows me and has seen my Greenwich video, they will know that I had some Greek donuts when I was there called Loukoumades. Now Loukoumades are traditionally, as I said at the beginning, are traditionally just a fried dough with a cinnamon and sugar. But the ones that I've ordered here have been filled with the cream that they put in a bugazza. So a bugazza is thin layers of pastry, phyllo, that's filled with this thick custard, topped with more phyllo. So I've gone for bugazza filled Loukoumades, topped with cinnamon and sugar powder. So I'm trying my hardest not to do any jokes about balls in my mouth and creamy filling. But by saying that I'm trying not to is probably kind of just done it for me. So okay, they're not too hot, which is great because you're not burning the mouth. You're not burning the mouth off you straight away. They're super crunchy still. Tastes a little bit like a fairground donut that you have as a kid. Really, really filled with that bugazza cream. And it's so airy, so it's really crispy, but it's so airy that when you bite, it just kind of collapses, and then the cream bursts into your mouth. I can hear one of you laughing. Stop it. But they are ridiculously good. Only like €4.50 with a filling. I think they're about €3 if you just get them plain. But honest to God, you cannot come to Athens without eating these. Greece is just my idea of food heaven. It's fresh, it's thoughtful, it's homely, it's rich, it's salty. A lot of it's designed to eat on the go. There may not be a lot of food markets here, but there's a lot of places where you just stop and grab something and kind of eat it along the road, which is ideal for me, who's just literally following my feet and walking miles and miles and miles until I find something to eat. So yeah, epic. So I just got into the Acropolis. The main entrance over on the west point of the Acropolis is packed for people buying tickets and people with tickets already online. Now I purchased my tickets online with Get Your Guide already. There was another entrance in the southeast, about a 5-10 minute stroll down from the main entrance, and I literally just walked straight in. There's still a queue for tickets, but the online tickets, you just walk straight in. It's a bit higher to get up to the top. I don't know if you can see how high up it is, but it saves a 35 to 45 minute queue to get in, so definitely worth noting when you come here.
But I mean, the morning dews are at the same time that the push-ups come.
So that was the Acropolis. The crowds today on a Tuesday morning were crazy. I have been told if you get there early, it's quieter. And I was speaking to a woman who does tours, and she was saying that she wouldn't do, if it was just a tour of the Acropolis and the Acropolis only, not museums, she wouldn't meet someone until about 2 o'clock to start the tour. So later in the day is the time, by the looks of it, that is worthwhile, or get up and get there for 8 o'clock as soon as they open the gates. It's under a lot of construction, so there's a lot of scaffolding, a lot of areas are closed off. It's still beautiful to see, and the view of the city at the very top is unreal. Although, I mean, I was in there for like 2 hours, but I was literally walking around for about 30 minutes. The rest of the time I was just in a queue to walk to the top. So certainly the time that you go, I think, is important, because I think with the fact that there's so much of it under renovation and the crowds, it's not something that I would say is a must. I mean, the views are great, but it's, for me personally, you know, my sister would love it. Obviously, she's an archaeologist, so for her and for people that have that real sort of interest in the history, I would highly recommend, but go early or late. For someone like myself who travels for more of the foods, yeah, it was an experience, but it isn't one that I would say blew me away, unfortunately. And I'm sure when the renovations are finished and all the scaffolding's down and you can kind of walk back through a lot more of it, it would be amazing. Because, you know, when you've got a zoom on your camera from the ground, you can kind of almost see the same amount as you can when you're up there, because you're, like I say, you're not allowed to get within probably 100 feet of it at the moment, with all the blocking off for the renovations. So yeah, it's a great piece of history, and it is a wonderful structure, and it's in a wonderful location. But yeah, more for food for me. So, but yeah, let's see. I'm hungry now, so I'm gonna see what I can get. Oh, also, I just stopped at the shop on the way out, because when you walk in, you're not allowed to bring liquids in, you have to throw them away, and there's nowhere that I saw up there to buy drinks. So as soon as I got down, I was really thirsty, so I stopped and got a bottle of water. A single bottle of water was €4.50. I was buying bottles and pints of cider last night for cheaper than that. So yeah, just worth noting. Yeah, it's scandalous prices. So this was actually the third stop of the day, and it was a place called Stani. They are renowned for being one of the only places left in Athens that still make their own yogurts. So as you can see, it is super thick. There's a little skin on the top. The honey is just really gooey. The walnuts are lightly toasted, adds a crunch. Just absolutely delicious. A lot more funk than you would get from a regular yogurt or even a Greek yogurt in this country. But it is just so creamy, and it is easy eating, and they are just ridiculously friendly. I would highly recommend visiting here when you're in Athens. So the last stop on the trip today was a place called Politis. These are really famous for doing just one type of pitta, and this is a beef pitta. It's somewhere between a burger and a kebab. Beef mince on the skewer, smashed on the flat top, and then in there there's no french fries or anything like that. It was literally just your salad, your meat, some seasonings, but the beef was super juicy, and they had a little bit of the fat from the beef on the pitta they put on top of the cooked skewers just to steam, get some fat through it. So it's really juicy, does not miss the sauce, and there was a lot of people around me here, so I wasn't talking, but again, a highly recommended one. So I don't know what to say. For the first time on this channel, I have been left completely speechless, and to be fair, I can't believe that just happened. Tonight I am going to Tosteki Tolia. So I was recommended this place. They do lamb by the kilo, And as much as I would love to eat a kilo of lamb for my dinner, I'm going to hit up a few bars later, a couple of places to drink. Might get a bit of footage from that as well. And yeah, they do lamb by the portion as well, so that's probably what I'm going to go for. They're all lamb chops. From what I've seen, it's just a open fire grill, hot coals. They chop up the lamb on a big wooden block and then they barbecue that right there for you. So plan is I'm going to go have a portion of lamb, maybe a couple of dips, a little salad, and yeah, we'll get into it. It's quite handy where it is for me. I just literally walk down this really noisy main road where you can probably not hear half the words I'm saying. But we're going to walk down there, have that, and then the sun should have set, and then we're going to kind of walk around the corner of the Acropolis and get a few, maybe a few evening shots, and yeah, hit a couple of bars on the way, including the Irish bar James Joyce, which has already become a personal fave that hasn't been on camera yet. So let's get it. So this is the inside of the dining room at the restaurant that I went to, and don't be put off by how quiet it is. I was there for a very early dinner again. I went to the tzatziki, the lettuce salad, which comes with some cucumber, onion and olives. The grilled peppers are just divine. I can't express just how good the peppers in Greece are. These are normal sort of flavored peppers. You do have a spicy pepper as well that is a little spicy. I don't find Greek food too spicy, but I love the peppers. As you can see from the frown, I promise you, is a look of enjoyment. And yeah, I mean, the restaurant was really nice. It was nice and cool. It was quiet, which was great. There was a couple of tables in the corner. That's why I wasn't talking actually in the dining room. And yeah, just super tasty. The food, I can't express the food enough in Greece. Is just amazing. This restaurant specifically, for the choices of food that I made, were personal favorites, and they were just phenomenally good. So the lamb is by kilo. It's 32 euros, I think it was, for a kilo. And I just went for the portion, which is I think 12 or 14 euros. And it comes with loads of French fries, lemon, and then all the fresh herbs over the top. Nice flavor of smoke cooked over the open fire. And yeah, everyone was super friendly, and it was just nice to sit in the corner, have a quiet meal, and just thoroughly enjoy dishes that I have missed from Greece. We have Greek restaurants obviously in the UK, but nothing quite hits the same as having cuisine in the country of its origin. And yeah, the lamb was to die for. A few little bones here and there, but I have absolutely no problem getting stuck in with my fingers. And I cannot express enough just how amazing this lamb was. There, I was having a little moment to myself there in my head, in my hands. But I'm going to leave you to enjoy the rest of the video, and I will be back talking on the video in a second. So yeah, enjoy the rest of it. So I don't know what to say. For the first time on this channel, I have been left completely speechless, and to be fair, I can't believe that just happened. So I went into the taverna. I ordered all of like some personal faves of mine, and it's been so long. It's been 15 years since I actually lived in Greece, and even though everything brings back a memory or like a taste that I'm familiar with, that taverna there got me emotional with the food. It brought me back to Greece. It reminded me just how much I love Greek food. In fact, it's probably it's got to be in my top 3, if not the number 1 spot of cuisine in the world. It's fresh, it's tasty, it's plentiful, it's cheap, it's memory inducing, it makes you crave food. It may not necessarily win that many Michelin stars compared to other cuisines in the world, which I think is scandalous, but the food itself, the people serving it, like everything is just amazing. And I got emotional eating lamb chops. So yeah, it's that's when you know food is good. That it brings you back to a different time in your life and brings back memories. And I had an amazing 4 years in Greece. I learned so much, met so many amazing people. Some of you will be watching the channel, and if so, hello. And we need to have a catch up at some point. But yeah, unbelievable. Can't believe it happened. But yeah, just the food was amazing. The guys that were working there were really, really nice as well. Stopped and had a nice chat to them. And yeah, I cannot praise it enough. So the link to, I'm not sure if they've got social media. I think they said they were planning on it, but if they haven't, I will leave the geotag on Google Maps on my description. So anybody going to Athens, strongly recommend that you go there and check it out. Just order a load of plates, and it's ridiculously cheap. So I had tzatziki, fried peppers, the lettuce salad, the lamb portion with chips. It came with some bread, a carafe, like a small carafe of wine, water, and it was €27, which if I was in London would have been 50, 60. And it would be hard to beat anywhere in the world. So go and check them out. And if you are watching, the guy that subscribed to me at the Taverna tonight, if you are watching, thank you so much. That was a memorable walk down memory lane for me and the cuisine, and you've really reminded me of why I fell in love with Greek food in the first place. So, ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ. Hey guys, so you'll never guess where I actually am at the moment. I've come down to the Amazon, and we are searching for what I believe is to be the first Amazonian forest street food market. I'm just kidding. I'm in Athens still, at the Botanical Gardens, walking over to a place called Elvis for some souvlaki. Heard great things about this place, and I cannot wait to get there. So come with me. In the National Botanical Gardens, there is a few animals. You can probably hear in the background as well that there's quite a lot of parakeets flying around. Absolutely stunning, sort of just off one of the main roads. So like even now you can still hear the traffic, but it's very, very subtle, and the gardens are just beautiful. Loads of little rivers and waterfalls, loads of sort of trees and plants as you'd expect in a botanical gardens, but just nicely laid out, lots of shading, nice open spaces as well, and it's just stunning. And yeah, very peaceful, and the shade is very welcome on this walk. It's quite hot today, so hopefully we can get all the way to Elvis without having to go onto the streets. Let's see. So just rocking my Takeover 2023 merch and the Haritos shades that I got given. So yeah, probably the first person from the Takeover 2023 to be rocking it in Greece. So yeah, hopefully, who knows, might get a few people come over next year for 2024. But sure, anyway, keep on trekking through the jungle / botanical park in Athens. But yeah, we're not far from there now. The things I do for food. Welcome to Elvis. So I got 2 of the chicken souvlaki with fries, wedge of bread, and it's only €5. So this is looking epic. I cannot wait for this. I mean, they are hefty skewers. Hot. Well seasoned, super juicy. You can see through the skewers, they have little layers of fat to help keep that chicken juicy. real open fire. So you get that real char that you don't always have with some of the other souvlaki places. I think real fire makes a massive difference. You get that smokiness, you get a real char, a little bit of bread soaked in with the oil. Hands down one of the best gyros. No, gyros, sorry. Hands down one of the best souvlaki I've had in Athens. It was definitely worth the walk up those steps. I need to go down to the old Olympic Park to run this off after. I could just go and get some more and see what happens. Okay, so wow, what a souvlaki that was. It's hard to describe just how soft and juicy those souvlaki were. They were perfectly cooked, little layers of fat in between to keep it moist. The addition of the oregano at the end, those house-made fries, they are phenomenal. So Elvis has two sites, one kind of to the west of Central, one to the east of Central. The one that I went to was up by the old Olympic Park, just up the massive steep staircase that you'll probably see that I had to climb to get up there. So, however, I have to say, after eating that, Elvis is alive. Elvis hasn't left the building. The reason we haven't seen him is because he's stuck in the kitchen cooking amazing souvlaki. So I'm done, I finished up, I'm walking back in toward the centre, gonna see what else we find along the way. So I am now at Krinos. So I went to Loukoumades yesterday and I'm now at Krinos. So Krinos do a much more traditional Loukoumades. So these Loukoumades, as you can see, are a ringed dough rather than like a dough ball like you get at Loukoumades. And they literally only have like syrup, nuts, cinnamon and Nutella if you want. And these are just, look at them, dripping with syrup. A perfect afternoon snack after walking miles. So let's see what they're like. Sorry. They are delicious. I don't know if you can hear the crunch on the camera. No, syrup isn't like super sweet. It's really sticky. It is sweet, a little. Can't tell if there's maybe a little citrusness in there, maybe a little orange, perhaps in the syrup. And the dough itself is really crispy, but really light inside. So it's not overly heavy. The nuts add a good texture and crunch to it as well. And look at that. So all that with a Coke Zero was like €5. So actually a bit more than the water at the Acropolis, the infamous water at this point. This should come with a warning. I might actually put a warning or censorship on this video for how I'm eating this. So, unbelievably good. And it's just around the corner from where I'm staying and the Central Market. So having walked all the way back and I saw it was just around the corner, I was like, what do I need before I have a rest? I know, half a pound of sugar. But absolutely delicious to end the morning after the souvlaki at Elvis. This is probably one of the best souvlaki I've had in Athens so far. This is definitely, I'm not going to say the best Loukoumades I've had in Athens, the best traditional Loukoumades. But I think the shop Loukoumades that do the modern twist on their donuts have also got it down to a T, and they have really good variations. This for classic, just kind of goodness and airiness, is amazing. Lucamadas is good in its own right as well, just very, very different. I'm going to finish these, go have a nap, and then I think I'm going to try and get a big seafood dinner tonight. So, because I haven't had much seafood since I've been in Greece yet, so that's what we're going to hit up tomorrow, later on. So I'll catch you in a bit. So for the big fish dinner that I was craving, I went up to Atlantikos. It's in the city centre and it is ridiculously good, super fresh, really good price. Started with a little bottle of vreate, which is a white wine made in Greece with a little bit of resin, and it's delicious. Straight into a dip then of scordalia, which is a spicy, semi-spicy garlic potato dip, grilled spicy peppers with olive oil, lemon, oregano, nice spice, not too much. Then the seafood. Fried anchovies, fried baby squid, fried fresh shrimp, super crispy, so even the shells and the heads of the prawns were just edible and ridiculous. Onto some grilled flatbreads, grilled tomato, which I picked up because I don't do tomato, a fava bean puree with anchovies, and then the star of the show, a massive pile of grilled prawns. I cannot think of a better way to end a hot summer's day in Greece. Alas, it is the final day of the Athens series. This was the morning before I flew, and I kind of wanted to get down to the Central Market because I'd been in and through, but I didn't actually film. So Central Market has 3 sections. It's got some fruits and vegetables sort of around the outside of the market where there's a lot of nuts and olives being sold as well. And then there's 2 sections inside. So as you walk down here, there's a few little places selling seafood and a couple of stalls where you can actually sit and eat. I didn't stop here because the oysters, I think they were charging about €9 per oyster, so they were very expensive. But further into the market, it becomes a butcher site. Loads of different butchers selling lots of lamb, lots of cuts of lamb that you wouldn't see. This young lad here was a right character. I'd met him a couple of days before, and he remembered me, so he grabbed the camera and started filming. So everyone here is super friendly. A lot of them will interact. There's the odd person that doesn't want them being filmed, but obviously, as you can see, this guy wants to just take over the channel. And of course, there I am in the background, quite happy for someone else to be filming. And yeah, it was really cool interaction with the guys. Some of them didn't quite know what was going on. Others obviously knew and were enjoying it. And yeah, it was just nice to kind of have a chat to some of them, have a laugh, and yeah, just see how people react to the camera. And obviously, it's a good little camera that I use. It is DJI Pocket 2, a little gimbal camera that films in 4K.
My friend, how many euro? This?
€400, £350. Yeah, it's really good.
Only this small, don't have big.
No, I only need small. It films in 4K.
This good.
My YouTube.
Ah.
I film markets and food around the world. And as you can see there, you know me, I love to just hand out a sticker. So yeah, I gave him a few stickers through the website. So as you can see, there's a lot of lamb here. The lamb is a lot younger, or a lot of the lamb is younger than you would get in the UK, so the legs are a lot smaller. And it's also a lot fresher. So where we in the UK would hang meats for a few days, especially beef, here it tends to be a lot fresher, sort of killed a couple days before, maybe a day before, and then put straight to market. So there isn't that age of meat. It's a lot lighter in taste, and just every single one of them, they're all selling pretty much the same product. And you know, you walk down, you get the vibes of the market, everyone's shouting, trying to get you to come on board and come and buy this and come and buy that. And it's lively, and this is where a lot of the locals come and get their meat, because it is very well priced on the inside. I do think the outer areas sort of cater a bit more for the tourists coming in, and do charge a higher price to try and, I'm not going to say rip people off, but obviously to try and make that little bit more money from the tourists. So if you are in an Airbnb or you're self-catering and you do fancy cooking something up, do come into the market and do come all the way in. As we cut across here now through the middle, we come to the fish section. So this is jam-packed with some of the best seafood that the Mediterranean and the Aegean seas have to offer. they have an abundance of good seafood, especially the calamaris, the prawns. They have a lot of like stone bass as well. The anchovies are amazing. And again, very rowdy, very lively. I would recommend wearing a shorter trouser. Sorry for the flickering here, it's just the frame rate with the lights are just having a bit of an effect. You can see me testing the camera here to see what it is, and I am not clever enough yet to change the frame rate in the video editing, so I'm afraid you're just going to have to put up with it. But yeah, I mean, it is a phenomenally good market. It really is. I use the word phenomenal a lot. I do appreciate that, and I do know I do it. But yeah, I'll have to think of new ways of using descriptive words. So as you walk up and down these areas, in between, just here and on other sections, as you cross from the wet market to the meat market, the fish market to the meat market, you will find little bars, little ouzo bars. And as I've walked through, there's a couple more tavernas here at the edge of the market, and all of these market tavernas, they do use the fresh produce from the fish market, so it's worth a visit. So I don't know how well you'll be able to hear me, but just in the corner of the fish market, in the central market, there's a little bar that does ouzo, and with each ouzo, you get a little plate of grilled food. So on here you have like some bread, some halloumi, some chili peppers, some olives, some sausage, some bifteki, ouzo and some water. Not bad for 11 o'clock in the morning. Like little pickled chilies. Very briny, a little spicy. The ouzo's really good as well. I love ouzo. Okay, little. It's a little bit smoked. Tastes a little bit like a hot dog sausage, but smoky. Really juicy. I don't know if the camera will pick that up. Look at the size of that. Super herby, super juicy, very, very well seasoned. Like, who can't love a spot like this? I'm sat right next to raw fish on my left, the meat on my right, and finally a little hole in the wall place, a little counter, and like I said, it's 11 in the morning and it is packed. Everyone having their little ouzo meze lunch. Delicious stuff.
Probably the day after.
So right on the corner of the central market is a place called Volvi Souvlaki, and they sell pork or beef souvlaki. Now they're only like 120 I think each, or 2 for €2 and 10 souvlaki for €6 I think, which is an absolute steal. They can have them wrapped in pita for a bit more, because I'm going to try and eat a lot today and I'm flying home later. I went for just 2 without any of the bread. Come on, man. Every souvlaki I have seems to get tastier and tastier. So again, that open coal, that smoky char flavour, But then the salt, the oregano, the oil just really finishes it off. Again, it's super tender, really fatty. It's all kinds of delicious. So the size of these are a little smaller. They remind me more of the little street souvlaki's you would get at a festival, like a panegiri they're called. But I mean, for €1, I mean, look at it. For €1 snack walking along the way, when you're sort of leaving the market and heading towards the main touristy areas, this will fill you up along the way. So I'll try biting the stick then. I'm going to eat this and carry on down and see what we can get. So last day, revisiting some of the faves, I have come back to Kostas for their pork pitta, their souvlaki pitta. I think this is the best one that I've had in all Athens. Parting is such sweet sorrow, which I said in Barcelona. I got it wrong there as well. And I am sad to be leaving these behind with no more. So this is Kostas number 2. So there's a Kostas up by the main shopping district, and then there's this Kostas, which I believe is older, and it's kind of just outside of the Plaka district. They do again souvlaki pitta. They have, the first one I've had here that's actually got yogurt in it. So the first ones that I had a tomato sauce, then a plain. Yogurt is what I was more familiar with when I was in Corfu. Pitta feels nice and crusty. Okay, that was super hot. I had to stop filming. I burnt my mouth. You can taste the pitta a lot more in this. It's a little thicker, more doughy. The yogurt's really nice in there as well. Kind of mellows out the richness. A lot of the souvlakis tend to be quite high in salt, so the yogurt really helps. It's just a plain yogurt. There's also loads of fresh herbs through it as well, compared to the normal ones that have like a little bit of herb in the onion, which has a load of parsley chopped up added to it. And it's really, really nice. Another delicious pitta. I still think the original, not this one, the first Kostas that I went to, probably still my favourite in Athens. Just so much more things going on with the chips, the tomato sauce. I mean, these are really, really good. And I would never grumble having one of these. But if I had to pick a last pitta meal before I died, it would probably be Kostas 1, not this Kostas. But still, like 8 out of 10.